Well, welcome on back to Motorsport Manager, the GT series, everybody, then. As we have ended Season 2 with that great 8th place. I've got over my disappointment of that 7th place finish now. Of missing out on that. 8th is a good step forward. And hopefully we can continue to improve on that in Season 3. So this episode is going to be the off-season. So we're going to be making all the changes and decisions for next year's cars, drivers, and anything else we feel like changing. So the first thing to address is going to be Dreyfus. I think we have to let her go. The biggest reason is this: 21% marketability. If we can get to a 3-level sponsor just by changing a driver, then that's going to be a huge boost for us. And the fact is, you know, Jakob is a paid driver. He's contracted for another year. He's bringing in 202,000 per race, and he's only costing us 230,000. So he's essentially costing us about 28 grand per race, which is nice and cheap, just how I like it. Dreyfus, on the other hand, 400,000 going per race. So this should help improve our marketability and turn around our bank balance to the point that we're making money each race, which is what we're lacking at the moment. Now, we can't make any changes just yet. We got to have the season end officially, and we should get our prize money for next year. Car repairs finished. Good to know. Here we go then. So our prize money is 9.5 million. Lovely job. Puts us nicely back into the green. 8.8 million. Now, did we get the... No. Did we get driver? No. Didn't really expect us to be fair. But it's been a great season. That's a very generous amount of prize money, considering I think the winners of the championship got about 12-13 million. So it's very... oh, hello. Right, well, let's start with this then. New rules for this year. Tondela will be replaced by the Guildford GP. Points for the top 5 only. Wasn't aware that was a rule change. I must have missed that at some point. Or I just can't remember it. Not happy with that one. And remove bonus points for the fastest lap. Actually, I do remember voting for the top 5, I think. Remove bonus points for fastest lap. I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Top 5 now. Wow. First few races are going to be more crucial than ever then, if we're going to do a good job next season. Promotions, yep. And so this is what I've just seen. The introduction of weight stripping. So that it does come into the career mode as well at this point. Hang on. We could already do this, couldn't we? I'm pretty sure we could already do this. Because I remember my single player playthrough, it was just suddenly there. To be fair, I haven't recorded an episode of this since the update came out. But that is something we can play around with for next year as well, if we get the reliability high enough. Just to give us, and God knows we're going to need a performance boost. Right, pre-season is nearly done. A few scouting reports have come back, so we'll take a look at those quickly. Sing Woo Un. Pretty low quality driver. Smoothness, adaptability and focus are terrible. Consistency and cornering is pretty good. And everything else is about average. But there is a 50% marketability there, which could be quite useful. We've got 2 more guys being scouted. I'm gonna look in unemployed. They're not any unemployed. Oh, there they are. Who haven't we scouted? Let's just stick a few of them on here. I haven't got many slots left. Anyway, we'll add those to the scouting list. We'll leave it as late as we can, purely to try and get the best driver. To be honest, we want someone as good as Jakob, with a really high marketability, and preferably a paid driver as well. That would be the holy trinity of Dreyfus's replacement. Right, car design, here we go then. 6 million saved from last year means our total budget for the season is 14 million. And now we need to decide how aggressive we go then. So I think we were talking in the comments, we want improvability, really. So I'm willing to sacrifice outright speed for that marketability. So we'll start with that engine, We can always change these later, but it's got weak fuel efficiency, but it's got medium improvability, similar to Mersault, but it's about 1.5 million cheaper. Here, Oceana Energy, again, you got weak improvability is the best improvability of all three. Same with Morimoto for the materials supplier. Now, that's much better improvability for the brake supply in terms of JP races. We'll click them for the moment. And battery supply, starting charge and half is efficiency. Now I feel this is a really useful tool, and the quicker we can get it back, the better that's going to be for us. Now that I've stopped trying to put charge back in pit stops and just leaving it so that we don't lose the charge, we're actually using it a lot more effectively, and we don't lose it at any point in the race. So I feel that is worth spending money on. Still feel it's a bit high. Could save money on those brakes, but we want the car to be as improvable as possible. And if we can turn our fortunes around in the terms of how much we're spending, and we're actually making a profit per race, which is what we're trying to aim for, then I don't mind spending this much on the car. I'm happy with that then. So we're going for Shimizu as the engine supplier, +4 base stat modifier, medium improvability. We're going for Oceana Energy as the fuel supplier. Again, the best improvability of them. Morimoto materials, again, the best. Are they worth it? Yeah, I think they are. Weak's better than very weak, and weak is better than very weak in terms of that, and it saves us $250,000. Going for the best brakes. Is it worth making that step, effectively doubling how much our brakes are costing us? I'm up for going for improvability, as long as we remember that the brakes are where the improvements can be made, and we go for those parts straight away after the engine and gearbox. So, okay, I'm happy with that. Oh, it's so horrible watching this just tick out of the bank balance. It really is. But it's how much it costs to design these cars. Got to expect it, I guess. Right, we're rattling through now. We'll wait for these scouting reports to come back and see what they say about these drivers. So the report that's come back is on Millie Davis. Oh. Now, you see, here's my quandary. She's clearly a terrible driver, but that is a pretty high marketability. We'll bear in mind anyway. And there's only so much a good driver can do, but we do want them to be at least an average driver. If we compare her to Jakob, that's what, 2.5, and Millie is, yeah, not even 2. So it's gonna be quite a bit worse than Jakob, let alone Dreyfus. But is that marketability worth it? Maybe just for one season to get our budget sorted out and get our car up there with the rest of the field. +1 tyre wear for 2.5 million. No, thank you. It's a kind of throwaway decision you can do once you're a big shot team, which we are certainly not at the moment. Right, another scouting report finished. Faith McCormack. Slightly better driver. Pretty cheap, 128,000 per race, and very high marketability. Not good at smoothness or overtaking though, but pretty average at everything else. So she looks half decent. Still got some other scouting slots to come back, so we'll wait a little bit longer. Dreyfus is on the way. Thank you for all the fish, Claudia. So long. No podiums, no wins in her one season with us, but she will live on for the moment anyway in the single-seater playthrough, and if not for GT. Right. Car improvability +1 for 1.5 million. Now you see, we've made all these changes to increase the improvability. We don't need to increase it further. We need to keep as much money in the bank as we can, just in case we can't turn around our financial situation. Right, Sheldon Amerson. An okay driver. 2 full stars. A lot of potential. 183,000 per race. Look at that marketability. Oh boy. So, failed actor lasts for 18 weeks. That will go eventually. Auditioning for films also improves the marketability. So, that is with a buff. So, his normal marketability would be 80. So, that's still pretty good. So, who are we looking through them? It only leaves 2 on this complete thing, which really annoys me. Oh, it's here. You pillock. Right. There's no real quick way to compare them all. Again, incredibly irritating. Right, but then you got someone unemployed like M. Davis. That's a 2-star driver, 89% on her own, and that's not being boosted at all. This is very tricky. We'll wait for a couple more scout reports to come back. We got the time on our hands. Not long yet. Sarah Young, one of the weakest drivers. Pretty poor marketability, 1.5 stars. Right, I think we got to start maybe making a decision. I don't think Ivanoff's going to be too good. So we need to start looking through who we've scouted them, I guess. So let's sort by ability down. So Millie Davis is good with braking, focus, okay at smoothness, consistency, pretty terrible at everything else, 89%. Unemployed, so could be possibly the cheapest option. And then we got, step up from there, we got Lazaro Arudin. Nope. See, he's a good driver, potentially, but terrible marketability. We've got to sort out the finances, we've just got to. Who's Bao Tang? Ooh. He's pretty average at everything. He's got great reliability. Famous father. Pay driver. 246,000 per race. I think he might be the guy. He's considering offers. He was just demoted to a reserve driver. And then was fired. This might be a good bridging solution. He doesn't excel at anything, but he's not truly awful at anything. His feedback's pretty bad. But if we could maybe get a paid driver in as a reserve, that could that. Oh, do we get him as a reserve? No, he's probably going to be too expensive for a reserve. This is difficult. Let's just go and check one more time. Who was the other one I was possibly thinking about? I think it was Mickelson, wasn't it? Yeah. Now you see, he's a pretty good driver. He is a pretty good driver. He's got a lot of room to improve. And even without that plus 20, shit, he's got a lot of contract left. A lot of contracts. He's not a paid driver. His marketability will go back down after 18 weeks to 79. To 80, which means that 79 is better. I'm going to go for this guy, Bao Tang. He's not going to improve. He's not going to get better. But he could just be just what we need to get the team in shape this year. A lot of people might be screaming at the screen saying this is a stupid idea. But I think he might just be our guy. He'll be the number 2 driver. Long contract. Don't really want to put him in for that long. But if he solves our problem, we can pay him out at the end of the year. I don't mind if we're not paying him too much. Everything else is not important. So we'll go in low. We'll go in at 103,000 and see what he says. He's liking it. That is a cheap ass driver. I'll go for it. I didn't think he'd accept 100,000. And he's going to go in place of Imre Ham. We've got 2 number 2 drivers, to be fair now, but that doesn't really make much impact. It just means that we can't really piss either of them off because they're both expecting terrible cars, and they're probably going to get one. Welcome aboard. Bao Tang is our new driver for the 2018 season then. And I'm starting feeling good. Oh, we had that constant Ivanov. He was absolutely awful, so good job we didn't wait for that. Right, livery for this season. This is always an important moment in this career mode. So we're going to stick the same colours, I think. Let's have a look through. I do like the British one. In fact, we are a British team, but it just is a bit like... Yeah, that would look fine on a canvas in a teenager's room, but on a race car? Really? Like the old Lister Storms, like the old endurance cars used to have that kind of livery. So I guess you can kind of pull it off. That's quite a professional looking thing. I'm not a fan of the stripe on the front, but I like the way everything else is set out on that one. And the Rising Sun, nope. I like that one. I like going for maybe a bit more of a different predominant colour. I'd like the blue to maybe take a back seat this year. We might switch the colours around. I do like that one. I also like that. I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for a predominantly white car with the blue overtones. I like the little number poking out on the bonnet. I like these little side stripes. Something a bit different for this year. We will go with that one. Okay then, scouting is no longer relevant actually. Right, do we want to change any of our staff? I think we're okay with them. How are we looking with finance? We're still at a loss. We're still at a loss. Sponsors though, we are now at level 3. So when these two replace after one race, these 3 replace after one race, we should get a higher level of sponsors now, and that could solve our problems. So I'm not going to go crazy with spending anything on any money on anything just yet. We'll wait till after the first race and all these sponsors get dealt out, and then we will know where our car is. Talking of the car, is it finished yet? What are you doing, guys? Nope, not spending anything extra. Let's just get finances under control and work on improving the car this year. Because of course any improvements will technically transfer over till next season as well. So even if our drivers don't do brilliantly... Oh, look at that! He's getting more marketability. Bow, you gem. Lovely. He's now up to 88%. We're up to level 4 sponsors. Beautiful. Right, let's hope that holds long enough for that one race to go by. It should do. And then we will... we should get some great sponsor offers next time round then. This is a big improvement. Right, pre-season testing, here we go. It's as pointless as ever, but it'd still be nice to see the cars out on track. And, well, we don't actually get to see them. Again, this is something that I'd like to see added maybe in a DLC or 3LC. Some worthwhile testing programs, like actually out on track, and some reasons to do it. Our guys down in 16th and 20th then. Cars aren't looking like they're going to work any miracles anytime soon. But we didn't really expect anything less, did we? Right, targets for this year then. I'm going to say 8th this time. We get a bit more money. If we can repeat 8th of last year, then I think we would have done a good job. 6th, I think, is still... I think it's realistic that we could get 5th or 6th. But I want to be sure we stay going with this team. Because I'm starting to enjoy... I'm just really enjoying the little incremental increases we're making each year. So I'm going to go with 8th. That's 5.5 million in the bank. 9.4 in total now. Do we make an HQ upgrade? Telemetry sensor for gearbox. I might do that. I might do that. Just check. It's definitely not a stock part, is it? No. I think I'll do that, you know. Let's go for telemetry sensor. Get it done. Get best gearboxes in the business, bruh. Yeah, bruh. I apologise profusely for using the word bruh. Right, let's go for a new engine. Straight off the bat, we got some money. I'm confident that with those new sponsors that we can get next time out, we will be back on the positive in terms of money making per race, and then we can keep up a good level of development this season. So we're going to go for top speed plus 20, get that engine built, and then improving. Of course, it's going to be all about reliability early on. Gearbox and engine, most important. Let's get those ticking over. And then we'll go on to suspension and brakes as well, try and give them a little boost. But engine and gearbox are the most important. Let's stop it there. Jacob's birthday. Yes, he is our star driver now. Let's try and boost him early on in the season. Plus, we need him in as good a mood as possible because the first few races are going to be crucial with just the top 5 getting points. Yes, alright. Don't need to chastise me about my spending patterns again. Okay, have I ever done wrong by my team? No. Then shut your face. That was a bit rude, really, wasn't it? Right, let's switch these over to brakes and suspension to try and get those up a couple of percent. Just in time. And I think... Oh, no. Jakob Vosu has a fever. Oh, well, we'll deal with this next time. This is why you need a reserve driver. But that is going to be it for this episode today. Let me know what you think of all the decisions we've made for Season 2. What you think of our new driver, Baotang. One last time. You can take a look at his stats here. That big increase in marketability, and of course the fact that he is giving us 246,000 per race. He is a bit of a panicker on the first lap, though. That could be a problem. Especially with the new... mistakes DLC thing, free LC thing. But I'm feeling confident, okay? We can do this, guys. We can do this. As always, leave your help and comments coming. I love to read them, and it really inspires me to keep going with this series. Leave a like as well. Normally, when I start a new season with Motorsport Manager, I do the race the day after. So you get 2 episodes in quick succession. I will try and get it done over the weekend. But with F1 2017 now out, and... directly after this video, I will be literally on the content train for F1 2017 to get as much out as I can for you guys in the next week or so on that game. So if I can sneak it in somewhere along the reins, hopefully you'll see the race in the next day or two. But if not, it will definitely be early next week. But as always, if you're new to the channel, don't forget that subscribe button as well. You can go check out the single seater playthrough. Just given my views on the new DLC and free LC, I shall leave that in the end card so you can take a look at that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.